the woman who was at the center of the greatest sin of Israel's most notable king. This was Bathsheba, the wife of David and mother of the Bible's most prosperous king, Solomon. Before that, she was married to Uriah. Bathsheba's story intertwines with the downfall of a man described in the Bible as someone after God's own heart. This narrative is tied to a sin that seemed to go unpunished, hidden from human eyes, but which did not escape God's sight. In this video, you'll discover what the Bible truly reveals about who Bathsheba was and her role in everything that happened. Was she a victim or a villain in this story? Watch until the end to find out. The Bible states that Bathsheba was the daughter of Eliam and granddaughter of Ahithophel the Gilonite. Her name probably means daughter of an oath or seventh daughter. She is also referred to as Bathsheba, which means daughter of abundance. Before her involvement with David, Bathsheba was the wife of Uriah, a Hittite soldier in Israel's army. There aren't many details in the Bible about Bathsheba and Uriah's personal life, meaning we don't know what their relationship was like. What we do know is that one day, David saw her bathing during a purification ritual. At that time, Israel's army was at war, and Uriah, Bathsheba's husband, was on the battlefield. David, though known as a warrior king, was in his palace instead of fighting, with his heart and mind idle, ready for a sinful plot. It was then that David, from the terrace of his palace, saw Bathsheba bathing and lusted after her. Even though he knew she was the daughter of Eliam, granddaughter of Ahithophel, and the wife of Uriah, David decided to follow his desires and gave in to sin. Enchanted by Bathsheba's beauty, David commanded that she be brought to his palace, where he slept with her, committing adultery. Sometime later, David found out that Bathsheba was pregnant. In an attempt to cover up his sin, David called Uriah back to Jerusalem, hoping he would sleep with his wife and believe the child was his. However, Uriah refused, not wanting to enjoy the comforts of home while his comrades were at war. David then got Uriah drunk, but he still didn't give in. Desperate, David ordered that Uriah be placed on the front lines of battle, where he was killed. After Bathsheba's mourning period, David took her as his wife. He may have thought that his problems were solved and his reputation preserved, but God had seen what he did and sent the prophet Nathan to expose his sin. Nathan told David a parable illustrating what had happened between him, Bathsheba, and Uriah. Before realizing that the story was about him, David was outraged and declared that the man who committed such a sin deserved death. When Nathan revealed that the parable was about him, David lamented deeply. In light of this biblical account, the question arises, was Bathsheba a victim or a villain in this story? Over the centuries, scholars have debated Bathsheba's role. Some suggest that she was careless for bathing in a place where she could be seen, but the biblical text doesn't support this conclusion. From the palace terrace, David had a privileged view of the city, which could have allowed him to see something others couldn't. Others suggest that Bathsheba purposely tried to seduce the king. But again, this is speculation without biblical support. When God sent Nathan to confront David, the rebuke was directed at David, and there's no criticism of Bathsheba. In Nathan's parable, she is portrayed as an innocent lamb taken by force from her owner. Moreover, the biblical text does not indicate that David used physical violence against Bathsheba, but that does not lessen the severity of his act. Bathsheba was a victim of David, who abused his power and authority. When David took her, Uriah was still alive, and the fact that Bathsheba may have had a possible divorce letter doesn't change the situation. The text also mentions Bathsheba's mourning for her husband's death, reinforcing the idea that she was a victim. Therefore, a reading of the biblical text indicates that Bathsheba was a victim of a king who, in a moment of weakness, used his position to coerce her. Even after David's sincere repentance, the consequences of his sin were severe. The child from the affair died, and David's family faced terrible and lasting repercussions. After Uriah's death, Bathsheba became the mother of other children with David, including Solomon, who later became king. Solomon's coronation resulted from a conspiracy to prevent his half-brother Adonijah from taking the throne. Along with the prophet Nathan, Bathsheba played a crucial role in her son's rise to power. In the New Testament, Bathsheba is mentioned in Jesus' genealogy, showing that God fulfills his purposes even amid difficult circumstances. You might find yourself judging David and Bathsheba, but without divine grace, we are all equally flawed. If we are blessed by God today, it is by his unmerited favor.